Greetings, everybody, and welcome to another episode of SeptumSin versus the World. I'm SeptumSin. So we got another gorilla pickup video here. And of course, time is running. It's currently the 31st of January, 2026. But in April 2026, my StreamYard runs out, and I do not have the money to re-up it. I mean, it's $500. Originally, I did it because I was sharing with a bunch of people, but then I took on the full responsibility because nobody had money to pay for it, except me, and now I don't have the money to pay for it because they doubled the rate on here. So I want to get this done because then they start limiting my time, and I like to be able to interact with y'all live. I mean, if it doesn't happen, like let's say I don't get through all of these pickups before the end, I will probably end up just starting to have to record and post them like it is. But I'm trying to see if I can get them all done if I can, because I'm trying to then take these, I'll sort them, and then put them in, because I've had so many of these things that have just added up. Because if I hadn't had a pickup available for it, it would just go in the backlog of, well, I'll get to it eventually. Well, I'll get to it eventually just filled up an entire shelf. So I'm going backwards in the alphabet, because that way, once I get this done, then I'll sort all the T's, and I'll put the T's up in a box, and I'll put those boxes, I'll put that box in the next one, and then S, and then backwards to A. And once I hit the A's and the symbols, then I can then start putting them all back up on the shelves alphabetically. Yeah, I know it's a long process. It really is. So I am covering the letter T today. Matter of fact, I'm going to show this really quickly on here. This is going to be a video that comes up, so I'm going to be videotaping myself doing this. So as you can see, I'm right here talking about the letter T as one of these live streams under StreamYard. I've got here all of the pickups for the letter T, for instance. And this is a part of it. I'm going to be taking the letter T, and I am going to be finishing that up, sorting them, putting them in boxes, putting the boxes away. And then, of course, since I get back to A will be the closest at hand, whereas Z will be buried down there at the bottom. All right. So let's get going with the letter T. Let's go start with the T-U's. So I got these all sorted alphabetically. And we're going to start with, Turbo. So Turbo is a movie. It's a DreamWorks movie. You know, people brought to you by Shrek. It's about the snail who really loves NASCAR racing and all of that stuff. And he gets like into this weird accident or whatnot that makes him have the powers of a car. It is kind of weird like that. So he becomes a racing snail, just like a never-ending story, all right? And that's fine. I think that's, really fine. I did enjoy this film somewhat. It's not the greatest film in the history of DreamWorks. It's kind of meh, but it's an enjoyable watch. I don't mind watching it now and again. So that is Turbo. The one that I've been recommended lots of times, and then I got it, and I never made the Inside Movies Galore for it, so I never watched it, and that is the movie Turbo Kid. Now, this is a release of it by, who did the release? I don't know who did the release, but this is a Spanish release. It is a Region B. I do have a Region free player, so I can watch this. As you can see, it's all in Spanish on the back, but the movie itself is in English. So that's that. It's a really cool one. I like the little sparkly cover. It is a post-apocalyptic movie. I am very curious about it. Still haven't seen it yet, but I do plan on eventually watching it. Now, this next movie is a Western. I've only seen it once. I saw it in school, believe it or not. It's a Clint Eastwood Western called Two Meals for Sister Sarah. I really love the Clint Eastwood Westerns. I haven't seen Paint Your Wagon, which is the one that's the least Clint Eastwood, but I love the gritty nature of it. Westerns had always been this weird, clean cut, almost boring thing. I mean, my grandfather loved Westerns. My mother-in-law loved Westerns. But for me, it was just too clean cut, singing cowboys and all this. But the gritty nature that Clint Eastwood and all of the spaghetti Westerns brought to the genre really made it more interesting for me. And so let's read this here. This is a Kino release. Let's see here. Eastwood is a hard-hitting drifter who rides into town and single-handedly rescues a local nun from a gang of bandits. After meeting the band of Mexican revolutionaries bent on resisting the French occupation of Mexico, the cowboy and Sister Sarah decide to join forces with the freedom fighters and set off on a deadly mission to capture the enemy's garrison. So, sounds like fun. It's been a long time since I've seen that one. So this next one is an anime called Typhoon Noruda. I'm guessing it's a disaster type. I have yet to see it. Jake has seen it, and he said that he liked it. An unexpected typhoon bears down on a remote island. A group of students trapped at school find themselves forced to put aside their personal issues and work together not only to save themselves, but possibly the lives of everyone on the planet. Because there's something strange about this storm and the driving. And as the driving rain, hurricane force winds, and multiple lightning strikes threaten to tear the world apart, everything seems to revolve around a mysterious girl who appears suddenly as the storm itself, only hours before. Very interesting. Now, I look at this and I'm like, okay, this kind of reminds me of Bubble. If you've seen that one, that was kind of interesting. She had sort of this bubble girl who appears, and so that would be sort of like the aftermath, I guess, of the Typhoon 1 or something like that. I'm taking out my next sticky stack. So let's talk about Tremors. Now, I've had Tremors up there, and, I went ahead and I got the last one that I know of the newer Tremors films, and that's Shrieker Island. Now, I've seen them all up until this point. I'm trying to pull myself into it. The last one, which was like the icy one, I just didn't care for. Now, this one, it may be good, may be bad. I kind of like the other ones, though. I've liked the other films. I've got the Steelbook that has a lot of the films on it. I love the TV series, so maybe. You never know. You never know. It could be really good. So next we have Trailer the Movie. Now this is one that I found interesting. So for some time now, it's been common movie-going experience to realize, having watched a movie, that all the best parts are already contained within the promotional trailer. Those feeling the cinematic ennui ought to check out Trailer the Movie. The most unlikely comedic couple, Dip and Val, sneak into a movie theater one night to go mad for two actresses, Penny and Anne. From one of the previews, like the Faustian bargain made good, they are magically transported to a celluloid universe of their imagining. A comic strip world of big blue skies, pink convertibles, kooky clothes, toothless truckers, and a variety of movie references. I don't remember this movie. I really don't. It sounds fun. I'm guessing I enjoyed it. I couldn't tell you. If any of you have seen this movie, please let me know in the comments below. All right, a series that everybody tells me I should be getting into, is the movie Trancers. I don't know much about this. This is a full moon, I believe. Yep, full moon with Jack Death, spelled D-E-T-H. Is a trooper in Angel City 2247, mopping up the last of the disciples of evil, Whistler, who uses his psychic power to trance and control those with weak minds. Whistler is in 1985 hunting down and trancing the ancestors of the city council, and Jack is sent back in time by inhabiting the body of his ancestor with the help of Lena. He must find and face Whistler and the final confrontation. So this has the first 5 films on it, and it's nice, compact. One of these days I need to see it. I may have seen the first film, but I can't remember. And of course, here's Trancer 6 because that was there. Different sex, same death. So I guess he goes back and he inhabits a female body. Now here's one that I don't remember much of. Again, I need to watch it again. It's a comedy. It's a horror comedy. It's called Kitten Wants to Be Up on My Shoulder, or Young Cat, I should say at this point. And this is Transylvania 65000. This has got a lot of really good good actresses in it. We've got Jeff Goldblum, Carol Kane, Gina Davis, so you got a lot of really good ones on here. It's a Kino release. I mean, again, it's old school comedy. I'm sure I really liked it at the time, or I must not have been paying much attention when I was watching it. Sometimes I'll watch something, put it on the background, and not think about it, and that's not fair to the film. So another one I got on a Kino sale, which is The Trap, which is a Lon Chaney film, and I got this because I think it was $5, and it was cheap, and it was a good way to get a Lon Chaney film because Lon Chaney is considered one of the greatest horror actors of all time, called The Man of 1,000 Faces. So The Trap is a grand story of romance and betrayal that includes the first starring role of Lon Chaney. He plays Gaspard, a French-Canadian trapper whose beloved Thalie throws him over for Benson, the scoundrel who tricked Gaspard out of his mine claim. So we have here, again, cat. A film that's pretty old in and of itself. I'm trying to find where it was or what year it was, but this one is 1922. So this is pre-talkie age, which I think Lon Chaney is known for most of that time. So I mean, it's very interesting, and I've seen a lot of Lon Chaney Jr., but not a lot of Lon Chaney himself. Having his first film is actually kind of nice and kind of cool. So this next one is called Trapped Alive. I kind of remember this one. This is an Arrow release. I got this used, pretty cheap. On a wintry night, friends Robin and Monica are making their way to a Christmas party when they're carjacked by a gang of crooks recently escaped from a local penitentiary. With the 2 young women taken as hostages, things take an even darker turn when their vehicle plummets down an old abandoned mine shaft, trapping the group underground and the mercy of mutants with a taste for human flesh. So I remember this kind of, and it was kind of fun. I enjoyed a little bit of it. I mean, I'm keeping it in the collection, though it's one of those that I need to rewatch and just see if I need to keep it. So next up here, we've got Triage. So Triage X is society infected with a disease, a gangrenous cancer in the form of those who commit the most monstrous of evils, yet whose power and influence place them beyond the reach of the law. When corrupt politicians fail to act, the police seem helpless. There is a third secret option that stands ready to exercise the malignancy of a tentacle surgical technical a surgical strike. What does it say that? Black Label, dedicated team of doctors, nurses, and students who moonlight as an elite team of assassins with the world's deadliest nurse, a master swordsman, MD, an idol with an affinity for explosives, and a pair of seemingly indestructible high school students. Their mission is as simple as it is deadly. Identify the drug runners, terrorists, and criminal masterminds who can't be destroyed by any other way, and then eliminate them by any means necessary. So, interesting enough. I think I got this on Sentai, so I probably got it on the sale. Fairly cheap. I usually don't go sight unseen unless it's really cheap, especially something like that I'm just like, okay, could be good, could be bad. So we've got another one. We got a lot of trick or treats, but here's a trick or treat movie. I think I got this from Dollar Tree. I mean, it just feels like it, or Full Moon Sale, because it looks like it's a Full Moon production. Former gangster Greg Keelty has settled life at 45 with a wife and new baby. Struggling with the nature of his new existence, Greg's life is thrown when he and his estranged brother shows up at his door claiming to have drunkenly run someone over in the night. Soon Greg discovers that the deceased might be the psychopathic gangster's son. Meanwhile, Greg has been having bizarre hallucinations which draw him further into a mess created by his brother, urging him to solve the mystery of what happened that night. It might be good. It's an Echo Bridge, so never mind. So yeah, probably Dollar Tree. It looks entertaining. I like movies that are called Trick or Treat. It could be fun, could be boring. This might be going up for sale. So one I keep hearing about that's really good, and I got this one from Kino. I got the sequel from Kino as well, and that is Trilogy of Terror. I like the slip cover there. It's kind of cool. Let's see. Gotta skip over legendary director, great actors. So there's three basically. I guess this is an anthology feature. But you got Julie, an aggressive college student, seduces and ultimately blackmails a seemingly shy English professor. Millicent and Therese, two polar opposite sisters, become increasingly hell-bent on undoing one another. And Amelia, a woman, falls prey to a murderous Zuni fetish doll. So, I mean, I'm guessing the Zuni fetish doll is this thing pictured in the second one. But I've heard some good things about Trilogy of Terror. So, I got the sequel, which has even more of these little things. So I'm curious about it. I think that most people who have seen it liked it. If you have seen it and liked it, let me know. So I got this because I got it on a twofer when I'm trying to hunt down a lot of D&D stuff for tabletop horror. Unlike a lot of these others like Amityville, the role-playing scene, they either are out of print or they're not making them anymore practically. So it makes it a lot easier to deal with all of them. But there is a troupe of I'd say improv troupe called Tripod, and one of them actually has a D&D style one, and I've shown that off. But this one is Tripod tells the tale of Tosswinkle the pirate. So that's a fun thing. I thought that this one was okay. It was entertaining, slightly funny. I think it's worth keeping just because it's kind of hard to find them these days. And I like blue as a case color. It's nice. So I've never seen these movies. I haven't gotten the third movie, and I probably won't. But I got Trolls and Trolls 2. I think these are DreamWorks. Yeah, they're DreamWorks. And it's about like the little troll dolls and this musical and all that stuff. And I don't know anything else about it. And I'm not sure. I haven't had any desire to watch it, but I haven't any desire to kick it out of the collection either. So it's probably going to sit there and La La Land for a little bit. One, again, I've been told is a great film, and it was up for Inside Movies Galore, so I got it, and then I never got a chance to see it. And that is Tromeo and Juliet as a trauma film. Well, I mean, he likes Shakespeare. I mean, he did Shakespeare's Shitstorm as well recently, and that's been on a pickup not too long ago. See Shakespeare the way it was meant to be seen, the Troma way. Yep. I think I will leave it at that because we can all imagine what Romeo and Juliet will be like. That probably lots of gory, weird special effects and odd comedy. Now, here's one that I really liked as a kid, and it stars Shelley Long, and that is a film called Troop Beverly Hills. I actually really did like this. It's about a fairly wealthy Beverly Hills wife who has nothing to do, and so she ends up taking on this Girl Scout troop and of a bunch of rich girls, and then trying to prove that, hey, we're just as good as the non-rich girls. And it's kind of fun. It is. It's a fun movie. I really enjoyed it. Shelley Long, I've heard she can be problematic, but she was good when she wanted to be acting-wise. So here's another one that's a Charles Band one called Trophy Heads. I have not seen it. I was collecting a lot of that because we were trying to cover a lot of full moon stuff on Schlockaholics. A project that probably would have done so well. Schlockaholics really was a good group. I really wish that we could have kept it up, but unfortunately, it just failed. That's just how it was. Unfortunate for that, but Schlockaholics still pretty decent run. So if you haven't checked it out, you should. You go to Schlockaholics channel. I mean, we still have those old videos up, and they were fun. It was fun while it lasted. One by one, with his mother's help, he begins to collect heads. Basically, it's I don't know. I'm not sure about it. Let me see here. I'm going to have to pause a lot. Sorry about that. It was something from my wife, and she was trying to get hold of something, but she didn't know I was live. So, last but not least to this is True Heart, which is I don't even know why I have this, to tell you the truth. Must be a Dollar Tree one. From the harrowing plane ride through snow-capped mountains to a perilous trek through the wilderness, this thrilling adventure takes the breath away. I don't know this film. I don't know why I got this. Was it an Oscar winner? I don't know why I got this because it's not something I would have normally picked up from Dollar Tree. Maybe it's something that my wife had. I don't know, but it's just kind of weird. Yeah, I don't usually pick those things up. All right, next up, let's talk about this stuff. There we go. So the next thing is something I got from Disney. There was like a Disney offshoot where you could actually collect the rewards points and you could spend them on movies. That's what I did for this one. And that was the Tigger movie. Man, some of the Winnie the Pooh stuff I do like. And I think Tigger was a cool character. I've always kind of liked the Winnie the Pooh stuff. And yeah, I mean, in general, I have not seen this. I will see it eventually in the future. I do like a lot of the Disney stuff. Yes, there's a lot of evil with them, but they do put together a good film when they want to. That is for sure. This is a Shudder exclusive. I did pick this up at the Dollar Tree. That's called Tigers Are Not Afraid. A haunting horror fairy tale set against the backdrop of Mexico's devastating drug wars, Tigers Are Not Afraid follows a group of orphan children armed with 3 magical wishes, running from ghosts that haunt them and the cartel that murdered their parents. So, this looks fun. It looks interesting. Shudder usually puts together some fun stuff. Some of the stuff falls flat, but you never know. Now, this is a Chinese release or Japanese release. Chinese release. And I had to get it because I wanted it, which is Time of the Apes. I love the Mystery Science Theater version of this. So I wanted to get the actual film itself. It's a Planet of the Apes spin, but it was done by, I want to say, Japan. And why these people get frozen in these capsules, get caught in an earthquake, and wake up in ape world. It's not bad. It's a fun one to watch. It's not a good film, but it's so bad it's good, which is why it works so well on Mystery Science Theater. It's if you haven't watched the episode, you should. I'm sure it's up somewhere. I think they have I think Shout has a channel where you can watch it and watch any of the Mystery Science Theater episodes, and with commercials, and that's worth it, I think. So another one that I watched, and this is one that a lot of people like from Jean-Claude Van Damme, and that's Time Cop. I'm okay with it. Essentially, this guy goes back in time to use the time machine to make money, but that causes ripples in the future, and that's against the rules. So Jean-Claude Van Damme is this cop who tracks people who break the time rules. And it's a reasonably fun movie. It's enjoyable. It's definitely one of those that was at the height of his stardom, and it was there. So this one Jacob had picked a lot because he invested in this. He's got a producer credit, and that's Tipping the Pain Scales, which is a documentary about the opioid epidemic. Unfortunately, the opioid epidemic has been ever shifting as time goes on. So at this point, fentanyl was just kind of starting to really hit the streets, but it's nowhere near as entrenched in it as it is now. Now there is no heroin. It is just fentanyl. I know this because I have been there. It doesn't cover a lot of carfentanil stuff, but it still covers a lot of the opioid epidemic, how it started, where it went to, the pain scale being that thing that they actually, a lot of the opioid companies, narcotic companies, invented, actually. And if you haven't seen a pain scale, then you haven't been to a hospital. All right, so me and my wife watched the first 2 seasons of Tokyo Ghoul and then fell off because the second season kind of sucked. Tokyo Ghoul is about this kid who ends up going on a date, so to speak, and it ends up becoming worse than he had imagined. And then he starts becoming these ghouls who need to eat human flesh to live. This is Tokyo Ghoul Re, which I've heard is much better than the second season. This has parts 1 and 2 in it. This is the box set. I'm going to this is going to go back with my box sets and not in the main collection. Anything that's like thicker than 3, I put like up in front as sort of a display, because then the box becomes more of a display and it becomes kind of heavy-handed. So yeah. So this one here is Tokyo Living Dead Idol, the zombie thriller, except this has an idol dealing with the whole zombie thing. Japanese are great for horror comedies or strange horror films, and if you haven't checked it out, you should. So next is the remake of Tomb Raider, which is based on the newer Tomb Raider games, where they make her less of a bombastic bombshell and more of a woman in the trenches of survival. And I kind of like that. I do like the original 2 movies. They really did fit the original games, and this fits I haven't seen it, but from what I've seen, it does fit the tone of the newer games that came out. They kind of shrink her, chesticles, as they say. But and that upset a lot of people. But to me, it's more about the story, more about the plot. Will the game pull me in? It's just like right now, I'm trying to do this Final Fantasy project where I beat all the Final Fantasy games that are not MMOs. And I'm on 8 right now. And I'm telling you right now, it's always been a slog. The first one was a slog to the point where I had to use I ended up using Game Genie to help me get past a lot of it to say I beat it. Now I'm going through, I'm actually doing level grinding. I'm doing a lot of the stuff I need to do. I'm using the increased speed to do it, but I am doing it. And I am not enjoying it at all. I'm just kind of bored. The story doesn't interest me. The characters don't interest me. And there's a lot of people who consider it like one of the best. And, everybody has a favorite. I disliked 2. But this one's actually, I'd rather play 2, to tell you the truth, at this point. Just 2 felt less awkward control-wise. It is there. But they did a good job restoring it for what it's worth. But that's how it is with this sort of thing. A lot of people, it's not always your cup of tea, So this one here is the Top Gun Maverick, which was the sequel. This one was pretty good, actually. They bring back Tom Cruise to train people in the future, which is a little bit better. I've never been into Top Gun. I keep the original around because my wife liked the movie. But this one wasn't that bad. I actually did enjoy this one a lot. So maybe one of these days I'll go back and give Top Gun another try. I've got it on 4K as well. A lot of people love this film. Tom Cruise is an iffy figure, especially with the Scientology stuff. But, you gotta do what you gotta do. So one of Val Kilmer's first films is a film called Top Secret, where he becomes a top secret agent, and it's very parody heavy. It's a fun film. It's not a good film by any means, but it is a fun film. And if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. You're not going to look at this film and say, wow, it's well made. There's going to be a lot of people who say this film is terrible and shouldn't watch it and whatnot. But there's other people who are going to say, like me, yes, this film is terrible. Definitely watch it. If you like kind of strange comedies, this is a good one. If you want to see how Val Kilmer got his start out, that's also a good one to do. So this next here is Tourist Trap, the full moon feature. Legendary actor Clark Connors stars as Mr. Slauson, a telekinetic psychopath who lures a group of young people to his ramshackle roadside attraction, unleashing an army of psychically controlled mannequins. I mean, that sounds like fun, actually. Full moon can be very fun. Not always good, but it can be fun. And this looks like a lot of fun. It does. Toxic Tutu. This has a feature by somebody who I know in it, which is why I got it. And it's going out of print. And it is a documentary. It's about like horror conventions and all that. I want to say it has a couple people I know in it. And for that matter, I mean, that makes it worth it right then and there. This one's controversial. The Toy. Richard Pryor, Jackie Gleason. Basically, a rich kid wants a person to play with, so they hire Richard Pryor as to be his personal toy. This really has bad annotations to it, so I know why they haven't put it into like full scale print. It's still in print, but you're not going to get a Blu-ray of this, and I understand why. I mean, I think we should embrace some of these movies. Not say that they are great necessarily, but to just understand things as they are. You know why it's bad. It's not that bad at the end of the day. Basically, I think if you know why it's bad, then it's not an issue. All right, only one stack left after this one, so 2 stacks to go. So though I did not like the remake, I did like the original, and that is the Disney film That Darn Cat. I picked this up when Disney Movie Club was dying and they were stopping their Blu-ray production and all that stuff. And I got it really cheap because they had it on sale. It's about like this cat called DC, a Siamese cat, and gets wrapped up in a spy conspiracy and all that. And it's relatively fun. It's a fun one. It's a lot of trouble, but Disney put together a lot of these fun ones like this, and I did enjoy it. Now, Jake gave me this one. That's the Thin Red Line, because I don't have it. Eventually, I will upgrade to Criterion like he did, and I will give this a go. I've never seen it, though. I've heard a lot of good things. It's Academy Award winner, I think. I know it's been nominated. It's a World War II one, and it's one I definitely need to see one day. He keeps this stuff pretty pristine, so I don't really feel bad about the quality. So I went ahead and I upgraded the time I got Reincarnated Slime to season 3 now, which is part 1 and part 2. I got this on a sale. I want to complete it. It's a decent series about this guy who basically gets it's isekai, so he dies and then he's reincarnated. He gets reincarnated as this slime who is barely able to do anything, but then he has this one ability which allows him to basically eat something and then gain its powers, and that makes him incredibly powerful as he goes. He creates a monster town. It's a very interesting one. The second season kind of goes weird where he goes to teach a school, and I haven't seen the movie or the Slime Diaries or the third season, so we'll see how it goes. This one I got purely for the cover, and that's Theater Bizarre. It was very expensive. It's out of print. It's by Severin. And yeah, it's an anthology with short films. I just really wanted this for the cover. Now this one is by Slow Mutants Productions. It's by the guy who did one of my favorite horror films, Closing Time. This is When My Mind Walked Away. Now I've got like it signed by several people that worked on it. And it's like, desperate for a place to hide, Logan finds himself in a estranged mother's farm. He soon realizes things aren't as placid as they seem. Now, there are some people. Yeah, you see this, you can tell by the texture of it that it was a printed cover. It's like one of these blank ones. Like I have a bunch of the blank discs, and you use a printer, and my printer does that. I've done that for several discs in the past. That's how I did the original release of Shackled Demon Project. I made those myself. I burned them here. I have a burning machine back here who can burn multiple copies of discs and then print it off and send it out. I did that myself for a while, but then I discovered Kanaki and realized that I could do that much cheaper that way. But I know that the people behind this do amazing work. There are some micro budget people who you're watching a film and you don't realize it's micro budget. And this is one of those groups. Closing Time felt like that. I haven't seen this, but I'm pretty sure this feels this. Now this I got again on a Kino sale for pretty cheap, and I also like the title because it was taken from actually one of my favorite bands took their name by this, and that's They Might Be Giants, which stars George C. Scott and Joan Woodward. Let's see here. This is a Sherlock Holmes case. I haven't seen it, but I am very curious about it. I've heard good things about that. This is an Oscar winner. They shoot horses, don't they? I mean, it's a stunning period piece recognized as one of the highly acclaimed films of all time. In Depression-era America, desperation spawned a bizarre fad, a dance marathon where couples competed to stay on their feet for thousands of hours. So, this is there. And it was done in 1969. I believe it did win an Oscar. Definitely was nominated. I need to see it before I say whether it needs to stay in the collection or not, because that's no longer winning an Oscar is no longer a reason to stay in the collection. That's why American Beauty has been booted out. So yeah. Now, this is one of the Cheech and Chong movies I haven't seen, which is Things Are Tough All Over. I really want a Cheech and Chong collection. Now that they've kind of like ended their partnership in a sense with that documentary that they did, I think they should take every single one, see if they can get the rights together. I don't know about Criterion, but maybe like Arrow or Shout could do a Cheech and Chong box set, because they've worked with multiple companies in the past. That'd be great to see, because some of them are stuck on like multi-disc packs and so on. This one I'm surprised I got on its own. I want to say this was the follow-up to Up in Smoke. So I just want to see all the Cheech and Chong films eventually. This next one is called This Girl's a Badass. I got this from Dave, and it's a martial arts movie, and it's not bad. It's a fun enough martial arts film. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, this one here is called This Is Not a Movie. It's got Edward Furlong on it, which is pretty cool. It's one of those, it's kind of like it's a weird action comedy, and I have not seen it, so I am very curious as to what this is about. That looks fun. This is I got off the Disney Movie Club at the end, called Mickey's Three Musketeers. I've heard a lot of good things about this. I was told this one was really well done. It's not a very long one. I just need to get in on it and watch it. It's actually not that long ago. I keep confusing it with Prince and the Pauper, which I also have, but I've been told a lot of wonderful things about this adaptation. So the Farrelly brothers are controversial. I got this from Dane when he was selling off some of his collection, and this is the Three Stooges, the movie. And this is a flawed gem in a lot of ways. I mean, the movie is all right. They're trying to say like a convent where they were raised, and it does feel it's got it's got some issues with it, but the issues are not with the acting of the three mains. They portray the characters to perfection, and a lot of the ways that they do portray the characters in the different scenes and vignettes are to perfection. So I can't really blame them on that end. So next one here, SRS released a thing called Throg, Warrior, God, Idiot. Forget Highlander, King Arthur, or Conan. Throg the Younger, the adopted son of Throg the Elder, has come of age. Armed with nothing but eternal optimism and his trusty rock, the immortal Throg must now confront his destiny. It looks like fun. That's why I got it. I think I got it on a sale. This one I haven't seen in years, which is Throw Mama from the Train. I found this at the Dollar Tree sale, and I had to get it because it was $1, and it's worth that because I really did enjoy both of them. They work well together, and I also love the character who plays the mother. She didn't last long in a lot of them, but she was known best for her part in the Goonies, and she does a great job. I love that. I've heard she was really sweet in real life. So this one I got just because, again, Dollar Tree. It looks like fun, and this is Thor at the bus stop. Thunderclap, fruit snacks, and the power of cool. Thor at the Bus Stop is a fantasy comedy about a mythical Thor, an arch god of lightning, making his final journey through the suburban neighborhood on the day when he is going to die fighting to save the world. Thor starts a chain reaction of intervening storylines packed with the colorful characters, a Pulp Fiction vibe, and themes of goodness and the power of cool. So this is kind of an indie comedy that it just sounds like fun. So this one was mixed, which was Thor: Love and Thunder. Now, the previous Thor movie, Thor has got a weird rocky one. The first movie was okay. The second movie was considered abysmal. The third movie was considered amazing. And they thought, well, we could build on that, and decided that it was the jokes that made the third movie amazing and made this entire thing mostly a joke, which downplays a lot of the serious moments in the film. It is one of the weakest of the Marvel films, but it's still watchable and enjoyable. Even the worst of them are watchable. And that's the case here. So this is one of those Fox films that was converted to Disney. And we can see here a Disney release of Thumbelina. I don't know much about it. I never watched it. I feel like Troll in Central Park. I've never watched that one either, but I've heard it's decent enough. Mm-hmm. This is one I watched a lot as a kid, and I've been trying to get a lot of these because I've been trying to recapture my childhood. That's Thundar the Barbarian. And you got him, and you got the two weird blob things. I used to watch it all the time on Cartoon Express. It's just these ones that were made in the 60s, 70s by Hanna-Barbera, and they were in general fun to watch and enjoyable as a kid. So another Clint Eastwood one called Thunderbolt and Lightfoot, another one of his action cases, and this one is this one has Jeff Bridges in it, and I don't know. I mean, Clint Eastwood. What can you say? He always had some fun with it. Back to Marvel, Thunderbolt. Now this one kind of is a loose sequel to the Black Widow's one. It's kind of another take on Guardians of the Galaxy in a lot of ways, with the way that it feels and how it plays out. It's really just a bunch of people who kind of got together to become the new Avengers, so to speak. And I do kind of hate that they had Taskmaster that they had in there for 5 seconds and then dropped them. I think that was wrong. Now, George Lucas's first film, which I should have also shown, which is THX 1138. I picked this up on Blu-ray a while back. I still have yet to see it. I've heard it's mixed. I've heard mixed things about it. But definitely one worth having in a collection. we want, especially when I was trying to collect anything of film that's filmed of importance. As sort of an archivalist, which is what a lot of us collectors, hoarders, like to think of ourselves as. But now I'm back to the point where I'm collecting only for me, really, and maybe my wife, depending. So that's it. So our next one is a trauma one called Tales from the Crapper. This is an anthology one. It kind of makes fun of Tales of the Crypt. I have not seen it, but I've heard enough about it, and a lot of people I know love it, so I had to get it. So, trauma sale. Here's one called Tales from the Grave. Now, this is an older film. Approximately 6 hours. Jesus. Moving to a distorted state of what we believe is to be reality, but this is the afterlife, feared by most, a place of eternal torment and despair. From gooey and gross to spooky and surreal, all 18 episodes are now together for the first time in HD. Yeah, this is all micro budget from people like Dustin Ferguson, Donald Farmer, John Balsamo, Brad Twigg. So you got a bunch of these people who are pretty big names in it. And it makes sense. They could do a series together and it worked out well. So I guess they did their own like Tales from the Crypt series, which is interesting. So it just becomes a gigantic anthology. So I've had Tales from the Hood 1 and 2. One had Tales from the Hood 3, another anthology horror. I've only watched the first Tales from the Hood, and I've seen the Snoop Dogg's version. But I haven't seen these, so I need to see them. They may be good, may be bad. Won't know until I see them. This is one I haven't shown off, and it kind of had a shadow release. We never really gave it much fanfare, and that's Tales of the Forgotten Act 2. This is the David Streggy anthology. This is the second of potential 3 films. Unlike the first film, though, the first film I heavily was involved with editing-wise. I think I'm in the credits. I may not be. I am involved in this one acting-wise, and I didn't put my picture on there. I helped organize the back and all that. So it does have a couple of it does have some extra features in it. And for those who really liked the first one, I mean, it's a little bit more of the same. It's a little bit better, I think. They paid attention to certain things. There's a lot more wraparound. The wraparound makes a little bit more sense. The anthology features, like the actual features, again, they're hit or miss, but that's how you go with anthology features. So this one is Tales of Fantasia, which is an anime that is based off of the game. It's in the Tales series. I don't know much more about that, but fantasy anime is usually fun in general, so I would like that. So this one is one that just got nailed by how terrible it was, which was going out around the same time of one that was talked about how awesome it was. Melissa McCarthy had like 2 that were really well. One that is sort of like how we had that one with Blindside and the other one there. This one was Spy and then also Tammy, and I heard some terrible things about Tammy. After losing her job and learning her husband has been unfaithful, Tammy hits the road with her profane, hard-drinking grandmother on a trip of a lifetime. And I've heard terrible things about it, but that's why I got it, because it was so bad. Maybe it's so bad it's good. This is one I have seen. It is a Winnie the Pooh-esque one, but the people who created Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey have been trying to sue anybody who uses Winnie the Pooh in a horror franchise, which is kind of funny how they're doing that, because they're doing it in the face of Disney. But this is Teddy Scare. Now, this is actually, I think, one of the only times the Schlockaholics have been in a movie. We did a second movie, but at the time, Mo was already dropping out on us for that. So it's just me and Cody, which is kind of sad. But this is kind of fun. I do love the fact that me and Cody and Mo were together for something, and that was cool to have us. It's about this guy who's like got this weird obsession with his stuffed animals, and they come to life, and these big animals do it. It's actually not bad. It's a fun movie. SRS has it. So this one is the Tekken sequel, Kazuya's Revenge. Live action Tekken movies. I've only seen one of them, and it was fun. I need to see the others. That's enough said. Based on fighting game. Tell No One, a top-notch thriller. This one, I think, was my wife's. It's Movie Gallery. I haven't watched it, so it must be my wife's. Tell No One tells the story of pretty Asian Alex Beck, who grieves the murder of his beloved wife, Margot, 8 years earlier. When the two bodies are uncovered near the Margot's body was found, the police reopens the case, and Alex becomes suspect again. Yeah, I never watched this film, so it must be from my wife's collection. The Temptress is a David Sterling thing. Temptress, this one might eventually go into the selling batch, but I gotta see it first. This one was one that he sent for free with an order I got. I'm sure it's like boobs in it and such like that. He likes to do that vampire movie. This is one that this is a Kino re-release of this, and this is one that Dustin really liked, which was called Tentacles. I need to give this another go. It's got a very Jaws-like vibe. I'm not sure whether I liked it or not, so that's why I need to check it out again. Inside Movies Galore did it, so if you want to know more about it, you should check that out. So this one is one I'm also kind of conflicted on, and that's Terrifier. I've seen the first and the third film in the series, believe it or not. Let's see here. Yes, we do, and that is the truth. we do indeed. And thank you for commenting and watching this odd live pickup. There's going to be more as we go from T through A. I'll have people on sometimes. I'll have people off sometimes. Sometimes I'll even open up the mic for anybody viewing to come on. And if anybody who's a friend of mine is watching this via Facebook, a friend of mine on Facebook, they want to message me, they can. I'll send a link if you want to come on and talk with me about these weird things. But Terrifier is one, it's a mixed bag for me. I liked the shorts with Art the Clown and All Hallows Eve. I liked that character, but they kind of made him more into just a slasher villain in Terrifier. And this one's more about the gore than anything else. You got this clown guy who kills and kills and kills and kills, and that's the thing. The third one, he dressed up as Santa, and there's a little bit more to it, a little bit more lore behind it. And, they're kind of trying to build in its own lore and series. And I've heard there was a lot that was the second film did, which I also have here, and I have not seen it yet. And then there's the fourth film that may wrap it up. I'm not sure. I do need to go ahead and see this film. But I haven't gotten to it yet. It's kind of weird. I think I watched the third film because it was Christmas. I was looking to watch almost every Christmas related film I have. Like right now, like the only one now I have in the unwatched pile for holidays is the Best Man Holiday, because I saw Best Man Holiday, but I haven't seen Best Man. So that's the only issue with not having that one there. So this one here is Territory 8. After a chemical weapon explosion in Nevada, 8 square miles surrounding the area put in quarantine, trapping anyone who managed to survive. Soon after the incident, 2 scientists find themselves confronting a sinister cover-up and a band of hostile survivors who are looking to escape the quarantined area, now known as Territory 8. Creepy. I probably got it at Dollar Tree. I'm not gonna lie. Or Dave sent it to me. Dave has sent me some of these things as well, and he'll send me a bunch. And then I go through them, I watch them, and I see what I want to keep, what I don't want to keep, but I do appreciate it. There's some things that Dave has sent me that I really liked and have been surprised by, so you never know. This is another one. This is a Code Red one called Terror Circus. There's something about carnivals, isn't there? Or circuses that just really enthrall us, that really get us like creeped out. And Terror Circus does have that feel to it. Three beautiful young women are bound for Las Vegas to become showgirls. Not long before their car breaks down, stranding them in a middle of Nevada desert. After spending the night in their car, a man named Andre offers them a lift to his place and a tow truck. But the girls quickly learn there's more to Andre than meets the eye, and they're soon taken prisoner, joining a slew of other women. Andre fancies himself a ringleader, and the girls are trained and whipped like circus animals. One rule in horror movies is if you're broken down, never accept anybody's offer to tow your car. I mean, it's like Texas Chainsaw rules right there. This next one is a vampire film called Terror of the Masters, an SRS film. I probably got it on a sale. I don't know if anybody's in it that I'm like there for, but usually SRS works with a lot of people I like, so it's very possible there. So this next one is another Tales of the Crypt anthology knockoff called Terror Tales. Who did this one? High Octane. So this one's probably at least, I'd say low budget, but not micro budget. Again, probably one I picked up at Dollar Tree. I'm not gonna lie. I don't have a reason to do. There's Terror Taxi. Now that's a hefty one. Again, I don't know much about this. Gilnam and a young taxi driver is killed in a hit and run motor accident while on his way to propose to his girlfriend. Let's see here. Gilnam and his taxi, no longer a part of the living world, rise from the grave and find the city plagued with other phantom taxis, driven by ghosts and fueled by blood. This might actually be fun. I don't know where I picked it up. I don't know why I picked it up, but it does sound like fun. It does. It sounds and looks like fun. One I saw, which is Terror Bites. Now, this is one of those ones that was released by the people who did do In Search of Darkness, those massive documentaries. This has a slipcover, not much else there. This is about the origin and a lot of those survival horror games that were released. It's not as good as I wanted it to be, but it's still a fun one. It's done as a series instead of a big old anthology like documentary, but it's still decent enough. I like things about video games, especially survival horror, because survival horror is an awesome genre of video game, and I do enjoy those. I guess better than Final Fantasy VIII. And the last one I got is an indie film called Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Cleverly placed title there. A group of New Yorkers take a road trip to Texas planning to visit locations from a horror movie. Their car breaks down and they trust a local girl who offers to help, but they did not pay the proper respects, and begins the tragic tale. Well, yeah. So another Texas Chainsaw ripoff. But that's how we do things here in this micro budget world. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this. This is the letter T. Now I'm going to reorganize all the T's in my collection, and then I'm going to be digging up S, and then on Monday we're going to be doing a lot of S's. I don't know if I'm going to get through all of them, but I'm going to get started with it at least, and get through as many as I can with Jake and Dave. So check us out on 6 o'clock on Monday if you like these things and you like it when we have guests, because they'll bring their own pickups as well, which will be kind of fun, and we'll continue up the alphabet until we can get to the heights of the heights. Believe it or not, when we get to the higher ends, like B, A, they're going to be very short pickups, because a lot of the times the reason why these built is that I would start at the beginning of the alphabet, and all the things in the later parts of the alphabet would just be ignored, and they'd build up. So, hope you've enjoyed this. If you did, hit that subscribe, hit that like, and share, and check out some of these other ones. Like we had V that came out. We had all these other ones. QSTUU came out not too long ago. So, hey, check it out. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
cozy place to ride out the storm. SeptumSin. SeptumSin and his best boy Jake see the trends that scare us every day. Physical media is going to the side. Doctor streaming will rule the world.